and women gather separately and together in non-scripted conversations over the topics at hand. The people and their responses are real. No telling what's gonna happen. It's his and hers. Let's jump in.
Hi everyone, we are back this week with His and Hers, the Battle of the Sexes, and I have some amazing people all representing Louisville, and we also have someone on the Zoom. And can everybody introduce yourselves?
Theus, Louisville, Kentucky.
I'm Terry. How's everybody doing?
I'm the other Tasha.
And we got Baltimore, Maryland.
Keep it G, keep it G blog or what it is. What's happening? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Okay, so I guess we'll get into it. You know, we got our cup. We're going to pull out the questions, and let's do it. Let's see. That's why it's...
I swear to God. Okay, come on.
Okay. How do you think Jaden Smith was impacted by his brother's entanglement with August Alsina?
Who's going first? You going first?
You want to talk about it?
Let me see. I want to say not as much as maybe people would think he should be because that's his mom. Because I think that Jada's like really close with all her kids. You can see the connection that she has with all her kids. I think she keeps it more than 1,000 with all of them. And so I don't think there was any shocker.
That was his friend, though.
I know, but I don't think, just knowing how open and how honest she is, he probably already knew before it even came out.
Close living friend too. That makes it work.
I mean, if anything, if he was affected in any way, like it was short-lived. I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Well, me personally, I would say that he probably already was used to that. Wouldn't y'all feel that way? I don't feel like that was the first entanglement.
Yes, I think they're comfortable with.
Comfortable?
As far as talking about it, I don't think there's many secrets that she keeps from her kids, is what I'm saying.
But is that good parenting? Like telling your kids everything?
It depends on the age.
It
depends on the age because her kids are not. She don't have babies.
Yeah.
So it'd be different if she was, but
But still, telling your kids everything. I don't care if you're grown and not everything.
maybe the fact that because here's the thing, or this is hearsay. Jada and Will were supposedly separated at the time.
Right.
Supposedly. Mm-hmm. So if she was messing with August while they were separated, I don't think that it was.
But it's his friend.
I know, but
that's the kicker right there.
But they're grown, and I don't think that they have that traditional type of parent. Like some people keep it straight and narrow. Some people it's black, white. There's no gray area when it comes to parenting, and traditionally. Mm-hmm. But the way that she's open, the way that her kids are open,
I agree with that.
I think that it was probably brought up and it was like, hey,
I believe they
do your thing in a way. Like,
How you think they brought it up? How you think it came to the forefront? Like, as far as with the family?
I think they had to talk about it from Jump Street. Personally, I think August might have hollered at Jaden, or Jaden might have hollered at August like, "Yo, you messing with my mom's?" Or I think they had to talk about it before it went public. I don't think them going public was like, it's a shocker.
Yeah,
I think they talked about it first, so that way when they went public, it wasn't like a, what, bro? What's going on? I think it was more so something like that.
I think she knows better than to do that with their relationship. Yeah. You can tell they're all really, really close.
Yeah, you can tell that, but I just can't. I can't get past that mom was messing with.
But are they friends today? That's what we need to ask.
Yeah, that is
Jada
and
August. I don't know.
Are they friends today?
I don't know.
I'm sure Jaden punched him in his mouth.
And I wouldn't doubt that either.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're friends right now.
That's
sure.
But
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, they probably got into a heated argument about that.
And they probably made
As
up.
friends. Yeah.
I mean, depending on what type
would
of
you make
friendship
up with somebody that messed with your mama?
If my mom if my mom personally was to mess with one of my friends, first of all, I would know about it. Just straight up. You know what I mean? Because you can tell
You would
the vibe.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Some
you can
kind of,
figure it out.
even if
You
she
can-
don't tell
You can
you.
tell the vibe when somebody walks in and you look at it. Hold on, what? Hold the time out. Come here and holler at me, bro.
Yeah.
And we'll talk like that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as them being friends, it's probably through a conversation. Like, yo, if you're going to get with my moms, you're going to treat her right. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Moms is my friend. So if they're going to talk to each other, then, you know what I mean? Let's have a respect level.
This was barbershop talk today.
We can talk shit. Come on.
This was barbershop talk today.
Mm-hmm.
Delonte West.
Mm-hmm.
Things he's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Barbershop talk is LeBron slipped this guy something, or one of LeBron's associates slipped this guy something to make him crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? You
mess with his mom. Mother. Yeah, but also
that is grounds of you're gonna be messed up for life, Delonte.
But how do y'all know if Jada wasn't the one to initiate it?
That's facts.
How does anybody know that she won? Like, I want you.
And it still don't make it right. It's still, it won't sit right in my stomach.
If that were the case, then that would make the dynamic of the relationship just hit a little bit different. If it was like she was pursuing him versus him being like, yo, I want your mom.
That's
still
out of bounds.
That's out of bounds for her at that point. That's out of bounds for her at that point.
Let me tell you, one of
you
my
also,
parents came home talking about they was messing with one of my friends. No.
You also gotta see. I mean, you also gotta be on the end of how open is Jaden? Like, how free is he when it comes to free love?
Let's go back to relationships then. Then he's gonna be, whoever he dates is gonna be in the same situation where they feel like that's gonna be common for them actions because his mother did it. I'm sure this wasn't the first time that he have seen this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meaning.
So then that might be common for in his world.
It's not in the world.
Yeah. So then why would this be uncommon? Why would this situation be any different? If it she talked about it openly. It wasn't no secret. So you got to look at it like that. Like, she wasn't holding nothing back. It is what it is.
That's why I said there was probably a conversation before it went public.
Views and people we still commenting about it. You come to the red table, and that was something she knew was going to draw the world, more views, more attraction.
Yeah, but how much does Jada how much does she have to sacrifice to make herself known when she's already a known? I mean, she's already in her own realm. Like, she's not out here trying to build herself up. She's out here just living her life, is what I feel like at this moment. She's done what she's did. She has her history. Like, she's an amazing woman when it comes to her art. She's amazing at that. She's conquered that maybe for her.
Well, all right, she only been in one movie.
Shit.
No, come on now. We're not getting ready. No, you can't talk about you. Don't diss her being talented.
Tell me what one movie.
That's hard.
She was in some series. She's a good actress.
Give me 2 movies.
I'll give you 2 movies.
She was Set It Off. She was in Set It Off.
Jason's looking Set It Off.
She was stars.
Yes, she
was.
She was the only survivor in Set It Off, and she was the love interest in
that
Jason
shit.
Lyric.
At the time, she was a B-lister. She ain't been no A-lister in no movies.
Ain't nobody.
Will Smith
it ain't about being an A-lister.
Yeah,
she's got her own movie repertoire. She's got her own.
She is
everybody.
Not only that, it's not even just about her being an actress. She's a producer. She's a director. She is an author. She is.
I'm giving her accolades. She's a good woman.
I mean, no. I'm saying as far as her craft.
Yes,
I think she's amazing.
Amazing.
I think she's toxic.
Oh, okay.
Amazing actress.
I was like, wait, not a toxic actress.
Nah, she has the films under her belt.
What films? I can't name 2.
I just did. Jason's Lyric.
Okay, 80s films.
It's 90s. But you gotta think during that time. But the thing is that even though those were 90s films, guess what? She's still getting paid off of them to this day.
Those movies are classic.
They still run concurrent.
Set It Off is a classic.
How many
I don't
times
care what nobody says.
Probably about 20.
I know.
Okay.
Set It Off.
And when I finish watching, I feel like I can take over the world every single time.
Jason's Lyric.
Not like, man,
I'm about to say, yeah, I'm about to say some more.
Okay, Jada got more than one film. Okay.
She got 2.
She got 2. She is talented, but what I'm saying is, tabletop. Ooh, honey,
that fly is killing me.
Huge too. Table
You got to
talk
go.
is table
Okay.
talk could be. He's in it again.
Nah, just grab me a
Oh.
cup. I got you. I don't care. This ain't doing that.
Oh,
Table
His and hers.
talk. I know, right? Table talk could be just her. I mean that's her venting station. That's for her to be able to get out the things that she has not maybe has been questioned about, or maybe during that phase where she was actually doing movies, she didn't want to answer those types of questions. Like now is the time where she can actually bring all her mental to the table, and she's discussing it with her family, her kids, her relatives, people who have went through certain situations. Like the people that she brings to those topics are never people just because, or it's like it's somebody who has gone through something, or somebody who has something to talk about that has impacted them, their family, friends, people who are watching them, like in serious ways. And so I think that the table talk stuff is a platform, and she's using it hella well. She's using it well. A lot of people don't have that comfortable spot to talk about shit like what she's talking about on her show. And I think the same is for her, just as much as she, as the company that shows up.
I can agree with that, but I can agree with every part of that. Just as far as how did Jaden feel about
Lord.
he getting on my nerves today.
Oh my
That
God.
fly
How
is
does
he
Jaden
is
feel
cute.
about
it's
it?
toxic.
I think,
He
I
is
think Jaden was pissed. I truly think Jaden was pissed, no matter if they talked about it or not. And it don't matter. It don't matter who pursued who or whatever. Just period. If you got a friend that's messing with your mom, you gonna look at both of them and be like, "Nah, like, okay, what's up? And what is this?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where y'all going with this? Y'all just get in, or y'all like really serious? Because at the end of the day, if y'all serious, this nigga ain't finna be my stepdad.
Yeah.
And if y'all not serious, then don't involve me in that shit. Y'all keep
Yeah.
that to yourselves and go where y'all go to do what y'all do.
That's
If y'all
true.
not serious, I don't need no shit about it. He's gonna get
Yeah.
the blues today.
He is huge.
I know, he's gonna
I
get the
know,
Why
isn't
is
he
he that
big?
big?
blues. He
Yeah.
got to go, cuz.
So we are gonna go to commercial and be back with his and hers. Can we get the fly?
I know.
What is that?
He's
He's
gone.
right here.
Where at?
What was that?
Why I see
Is that him? Is he getting him? And we are back with his and hers, and I think this is your turn.
It's on and popping. This is gonna be. I don't know. Let's see.
So these topics are things that we kind of talked about previously, but now we're battling with the men and women.
Okay. Communication is the key to building relationships. What are some of the reasons do you feel? I don't. What are some of the reasons do you feel that we have a rise in violence in our community dealing with our youth? Okay, take that first.
Read it again.
Communication is the key to building relationships. What are some of the reasons you feel that we have a rise in violence in our community when dealing with the youth?
I think that a whole lot of the kids, they don't have parents that are there because they have so many different responsibilities. Because right now we're in a phase where you have to have multiple jobs or multiple things going on to take care of the home. So there's not a parent that is really in the business of the kids, because right now we're in, we have all those different components like TikTok and Instagram, where they see all the killing and shooting and carjacking and everything. So if you don't have a parent that is really hands on in the home, and they're out working first shift and second shift, and they're not communicating with their kids, this is what we have now.
I say it. Truth be told, I blame it on uh, local government. And I'll say that simply because I lived in this area my whole entire life, previous to being 32 years old. And one thing I noticed when I was younger is a lot of is it back? A lot of people growing up. We in the community, Boys and Girls Club, community center. He's gone. Things like that. Um, I'm not going to necessarily get into a fight or brawl or scuffle or even shooting with somebody that I see every day or saw every day growing up.
Right.
These days, though, the community centers, summer programs, that's how I pretty much finito. So I could be living down the street from somebody and not know them my entire life. And if I see them out in the streets and we got, argument, squabble, fight, whatever, I'm not going to be like, hey, that's so-and-so that grew up down the street from me. Because I don't know them. We didn't go, we may have lived, we don't even know we from the same neighborhood. But the lack of community programs, local government shutting down community programs, lack of summer programs, things of that nature, to where you get to congregate with those inside your community, that's pretty much obsolete. So I think communication is based on where you at. If you don't communicate with those around you, you don't know. Like, for example, you got a kid, you got a kid, y'all live down the street from each other. Hey, Ms. Jenkins, make sure so and so don't get into trouble. That's you communicating with her. Hey, I got to go to work at this time. If you home, make sure so and so, my son, don't get into trouble. That's you all congregating inside your community to make sure y'all look out for each other. Y'all look out for each other's kids. These days, you can't say nothing to my son.
That's
You can't
facts.
say nothing to my daughter. You
Mhm.
can't tell me how to raise him. It's not about telling you how. It's about communicating to make sure we got each other's back. Because wow, we got is us out here.
Right.
That's very true.
So I blame local government and community for that.
What about you keeping the G?
I missed the question, man. I was just agreeing with. I mean, if we y'all was talking about the village and
Basically,
how. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think we lost that now, man. And I think that's what's going on, and that's why we have so many problems that we have. I think that structure that he was just talking about, it was like it was a glue, and it kept us together because each one teach one. You
correct.
feel me? Now we got this thing where, like you said, you don't say nothing to my child, or like a parent can know their child is a terror,
Mm-hmm.
but if you come and tell them, they gonna look at you like you crazy.
Facts.
Very
Facts.
true. Very
I
true.
completely agree with that.
Very
I
true.
think to add on to it, the parents and grandparents are a lot younger than they used to be. And so a lot of the time, the grandparents now are trying to relive the childhood that or that phase where they were able to go and have fun because they were raising kids as kids. And so the communication is really close together with how everyone communicates because everybody's really living that shit through social media. Like the communication is the internet. The communication is the news and politics and what your friend said and what your coworkers are doing. That's the only communication we go or we get because we don't go outside that realm of I mean, you don't have to pick up the phone to talk to somebody no more. You don't have to write a letter to communicate. Like you literally can send a damn emoji and that's the conversation. And we've gotten so comfortable, all ages have gotten so comfortable in living that way that you don't know who your next door neighbor is.
That's real.
So
What about you, Terry?
Kind of thinking on what happened last week at the waterfront, if y'all kind of heard with the shooting. Meaning, as growing up as kids, when I was coming up, we can go certain places Not saying we was angels or saints when we went outside the house, but we kind of knew what was right and what was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm.
Meaning, you see something happening, run the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't run towards the action and seeing what's going on.
Right.
So it's kind of training our kids now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. Why are the kids out of the house? People want to say, where are the parents at? We always let out the house as kids coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty late though when it started popping off. It was pretty
it's
late.
Like
Yeah,
9.
it's late. That's what I said.
Okay.
Okay,
like,
you know when we
stay at
grew
the house.
up,
Okay, go
when
ahead.
we grew up, don't let the light hit you.
The street light. When the street light
light
come
hit
on,
you.
it's time to go
Very
home.
True. Very true.
You ain't gonna be at the waterfront.
Right.
You're right about that.
You're right.
That's facts. I
Yeah.
don't care where you are. You better make sure that you in this house.
Yeah.
When that street light come on.
And that was probably what, 5:36 or 7?
In the
Yeah,
wintertime,
yeah.
in the summertime,
As
it's
far as I
49.
got, we had
It's
the
nine
little
now.
a little green box
Yeah.
when I was where
Green
I
paper
grew,
box.
yeah, the little green box, and that was like right in front of my door. If the
Them
street
green
light
boxes
came on,
legendary.
Yeah, that green box on the chain.
if the street light came on, I was like, can I just stay out like 10, 15 more minutes, Mama? Like I'm gonna be on the green thing. We got the green thing. She was like, yep, because you're right there. I can see your ass.
Right.
But that was as far as it went. Like you get your ass in the house.
Plus,
Right.
also,
Get in the house.
what times is different is that, like, let's say what you said right there. Everybody going to the green thing, right? Why? Because what? You can't go nowhere. You ain't got no ride nowhere. These days, yo, where you going today? I'm ready to catch this Uber and go here. I'm ready to catch this Uber and go here. All we had growing up was you had no ride, you had a Tark.
And the bike and your bike.
And it's
That's
only-
it, yeah.
And if you fresh to death and fry clothes, you ain't riding the bike for too long because you don't want to sweat in your outfit. So you had to Tark
Yeah.
to stop running at a certain time, or you had to catch a ride. If you ain't got no
That
ride,
was
you ain't
it.
going nowhere.
That was
But
it.
these days, if you want to leave the house and sneak out and go to Cincinnati by Uber, you could.
Yeah.
There's too many ways around
Everything.
everything these days, and the kids feel like, yo, why be limited to the green box when I can go to the red box?
Well,
on the other
yeah,
side of town?
and my mama and my grandmama is at the club
Right.
because they still try to live their life.
That's very
Oh,
true.
They ain't gonna notice when I
They
get
not
back.
worried
out
about
anyway.
me.
Right.
Yeah.
When they get home, it's about 3 o'clock. Once I get home about 3 o'clock.
We'll be there together.
And they
We
ain't
gonna
got-
meet
and
up
they
at the
ain't got
same
catching a ride to
time.
get back home. They call
Nope.
Uber up, yo.
Or ride a damn scooter.
Yes.
Now we got scooters. I mean, it's
Yes.
just,
They
it's,
beating the people up now riding the scooters.
yeah.
They beating the people up riding the scooters.
Of course. I mean,
Yes.
I don't even go to the waterfront anymore, y'all. I'm saying, supposed to go to a place we can go and enjoy the nature and the scenery.
That's true.
But the kids now will put up a social media post. This goes back to parenting again.
yeah.
The kids are saying, meet us at the waterfront
Yeah.
at a certain
And
time
the
on a
walking
Saturday.
bridge.
Don't
Mhm.
nobody know
What-
it to after
What's
the
that, like a hangout spot down there? The
It
waterfront?
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Right on the river, they got like a walking bridge, and they got like a waterfront is a big area where it's cool, it's relaxed, it's a lot of room for a lot of people. But recently, it's been
It's been too many people
Yeah.
down at the
people
waterfront.
getting shot, people getting beat up,
Doing the
people getting
wrong
robbed,
thing.
whatever, because you can just hang out there now.
Yeah.
I think that's happening everywhere.
Mhm.
And I think that stems from boredom. You feel me? Like the kids, you know, they wipe the resources out of the community. So kids are now branching off, going into different areas of the city that they didn't normally go to try to create fun.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And it's because we having that same problem in downtown Baltimore, like in a harbor park. Like we never had issues in the inner harbor. Now people getting shot and beat up. It's crazy.
We just had a conversation a couple of days ago. We were driving down Barstown Road, and Thea said, what were some places that you remember in your 20s that you used to go and hang out at? Where are they now? Have they grown to something bigger, or
They're
is
all
it something
gone.
completely different? Not one place,
Right. They're all gone.
not
Everything
one
now.
Everything's
that
gone.
I used to go to, that we used to go to.
They're all gone.
Places we
No-
met, yeah.
They're all gone, and there's no
Dang.
rebuilding. So kids, teenagers, they have nowhere. There's nowhere to go. It really is nowhere to go.
But and you know what, the accountability is the black elites in our community. They get all these resources and they invest into things that create wealth for themselves
Correct.
and not focus on our kids that are lost.
Right.
And don't tell you about it. There's some couple of spots we done walked up on and was like, we didn't know this was here.
Yeah.
And it was a whole community of people out, and I mean, hidden
Mhm.
behind buildings down a walkway through. And where the hell this come from? We weren't supposed to know about it.
It's very true.
We weren't supposed to know about it because when we walked in, it was only us there. We weren't supposed to know about it.
They build it up for them.
Yeah.
Trying to exclude us because they don't want
Yeah.
their problems. But even with hanging out, teens ain't got nowhere. Like we had teen clubs.
We
coming
did.
up.
Yep.
We did.
Used to be in that roller wrap drenched.
Right.
I got my hair done every 2 weeks.
We have.
When mama beat my ass, my
We-
roller wrap was gone.
We only have 2 skating rinks in the city now. That's it. Well, 3. One of them is like so far out it don't even matter.
Yeah.
2 roller rinks, no teen clubs. The clubs that we do have for the 21 and over, they dictate because they're not necessarily black clubs. And then even when we go inside the club, they play certain music to calm people down instead of letting them enjoy themselves.
Very
It's
true.
boredom. You go into
Yeah,
a
boredom.
club and you hear music you don't like, you're bored. So what you gonna want to do?
Go and find somewhere else to go.
Damn, it's changed anyway.
But if you pay $20 to get inside the club as a young adult or a teenager, and they're not playing no music you like, and you ain't got no ride till so and so 2 hours later.
You gonna go outside and find something to get into.
Exactly.
Be in the parking lot.
Exactly.
Very true. Oh, so we're gonna have to take a commercial break and come back with his and hers.
If you or someone you know would like to be a panelist on His and Hers, email us at production@plugnetworkonline.com. Subject line, His and Hers. No telling what's gonna happen. It's His and Hers. Let's jump in.
Okay, and we are back. And Tasha, I think it's your turn.
All right. Let's see. Let me get this one here.
Spicy.
Do you need to be a perfect person to qualify as a role model for the youth?
Can I be bluntly honest? Fuck no. No. Oh, can I cut? Like just straight up, no. No. And I could give examples all day, but I ain't gonna name people. But first of all, nobody's perfect.
That's facts.
Let's get that out the way. Nobody's perfect. And everybody has their own morals, morality, standards, whatever you want to call them. But it's prison. There's people doing 25 to life for murder who are still role models for the youth.
That's true.
Speaking from a prison cell.
You do a better job than those free.
Exactly. So I don't think you have to be a perfect person at all to be a role model. I just think you have to be an honest and a real person to do that. And if you are honest about yourself and your experiences and you're trying to give game to somebody else, that's all you really can do.
Mm-hmm.
Show by example a little bit of it.
But by example,
By example.
I'll give you a perfect example. I have an uncle who did 25 flat murder. My uncle could tell you if I'm trying to get in shape, he could tell you how to get in shape. He can give you game to do this. If you have a real talk with my uncle, he's he's a little bit on. You know what I mean, but if you have a real talk with him, he can give you game. He can give you info. He can give
Yeah,
you
he can read the
knowledge.
Bible
He can read the
backwards.
Bible backwards. He can do all of that.
Yeah.
But he did 25 for murder.
That's the past.
But that's still part of his past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, if he wasn't honest about that and he didn't accept that past and grow from it, that's different. But you don't have to be perfect at all to be a role model. You just got to be a real and honest person. That means
Yeah.
owning up to who you are in every part of it.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
I agree with that as well.
I agree.
so all that perfect person, fuck that shit. That shit ain't real. Because everybody in there got skeletons in their closet.
That's the problem. Is a lot of people are trying to find that perfect person, and you end up losing yourself.
Mm.
It's like, who you kidding?
It's facts right there.
Who you kidding? Yeah.
Or those people who portray that they are that perfect person. There's a whole lot of people that portray it.
Mm-hmm. Self-perception,
I think
Yeah.
we
which
all
which
try
will
to-
kill you.
I think we all try to portray a sense of, and this is even a word, perfectness.
Better than we are.
But yeah, I think we all do that. But I think
I-
that, but I just
I would
think
say everybody want to be what they're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
facts. It's facts.
Yeah.
But I think we all just strive to I really think we all just strive to be the best us we can be.
That's right.
And we all fall short.
Mm-hmm.
And when you fall short, don't fake it. You know what I mean? When you fall short, just admit it to yourself, talk with yourself, and try to build yourself back up again. Because everybody's gonna fall down. But you gotta get back up. You can't be talking shit from the floor. I'll tell you that much. You know what I mean? You can only really talk shit if you keep getting back up.
Yeah.
That's
True.
it. My take on it.
True.
What about you, Terry?
Everybody has a testimony. We should all agree with that. I mean, we all probably are imperfect, but we are where we at in life at the moment. Meaning, we should say how thankful we are what God has brought us through to now.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody is perfect. So I kind of don't agree with that question either.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest. Facts.
So, yeah.
What about you? Keep it in G.
Yeah, I think we all in agreement with this, man. There's no such thing as a perfect person. You just like my man said, you just gotta be the best version of you. You see what I mean? Like, cause you be having these athletes that say, I'm not a role model. Y'all remember that Charles Barkley said that?
Yeah.
And the world went crazy. And it's like you don't get to pick and choose because the people who are looking at you to be a role model, they're not asking for your opinion. You feel me? So it's like you just gotta make sure you just the best you because people are watching, whether you know it or not. But perfect? Nah, you don't gotta be perfect.
No such thing as that shit at all.
Yeah.
I think we all really in agreement about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think we all
I know
agree.
I'm not perfect. So.
Yeah,
I know I ain't perfect.
But I can still
None
be a
of us
role
are.
model.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right? We agree with
Absolutely.
I
There's
agree.
always a teachable moment.
It sure
There's
is.
always a teachable moment, even if you the student sometimes.
Yeah.
that? So anybody
Man.
watching, I still try to in my barbershop teach kids how to tie ties.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see me as a barber with my pants sagging down.
Right.
What they see is hopefully what they're gonna do also.
Correct. Correct.
Got a couple of kids that came in and said, "Man, Mr. T, I'm fly. I was flying last week. I put this tie on. I learned how to tie."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not a role model, but
Right.
and I'm also not a perfect person, but still give teachable moments for the youth,
Correct.
make them do a little better in life. That's just my testimony.
How that make you feel though when they said that?
Man, that was a humbling moment.
Yeah.
Seriously though,
Yeah.
he was happy as a mud for real. Keep it G. He was happy. Like I was far. I was tight last weekend.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you reach one to teach one
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
even if it, whatever you doing to, like, person, like you said, working with kids, I do that from time to time in a certain field that I do. And just sometimes when you give information to a kid, you don't realize that how much they soak it up
Mm-hmm.
until, you get back from them. You be like, dang, I didn't even know that you picked up on that.
You
like
was
that.
listening. You act like you weren't paying me
Yeah, I
no
didn't think
mind.
you was listening, but-
More to that story is he came into the shop with about 4 or 5 of his friends. So I showed all 4 of these guys, but as That's still a good percentage.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. All it
Yeah,
takes is
one out of 4.
All it
Yeah.
takes is one.
So the other
Yeah,
3, I'm just saying, it was about 4 or 5 of them that particular day, and that one came back was kind of ecstatic. That he felt
Yeah.
good about himself.
And guess what?
I'm gonna get the other 3 because he's gonna watch this. It's gonna be a trickle effect.
Right.
It's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
it
And
is.
one can
Right.
teach another one, and
Right.
so on and so on.
Right.
So you just kind of, it's the domino effect. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get everybody. You're not gonna get 100%. It would be the goal is to get 100% of people you teach. But even if you don't get that 100%, if you only get 15%, guess what? That 15% can
It's
go to another
something.
100%.
Yeah.
Very
That's a
true.
win.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
something.
win.
Yeah.
Facts.
And then
Facts.
when we talked about the balance in our community, when more of us step up and just be present, like you see a kid and we're present, like we care, and you
Mhm.
actually care, and they see that, that's what they want.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to people actually caring about, what's going on in your life. What are you doing? Even the littlest thing, just to even speak to them, can make a difference.
But we used to care. Like when did we adopt this mentality of everybody for themselves?
I don't know.
As soon as social media started,
Okay, because it wasn't always like this. You feel me? And I think like she was just saying, like people don't care, and that's like it's going on all over in our community.
Mhm.
We don't care.
This before
You can
social
see
media.
somebody doing something, be like, "Whoa, it's not affecting me," but it's like it is affecting you, bro.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah.
me?
But then also sometimes you second guess yourself because, like, I grew up in Newburgh, same, and everybody is family.
Mhm.
Like somebody that I grew up with, if their mom dies today, I'm going to the funeral. You know what I'm saying? We are a family. But the kids of this generation, if you speak to them, if you see them doing something wrong or something, sometimes you'll get a reaction that you don't want.
Right.
So then that comes into part when other people are reluctant to speak to them because they don't know if they got a gun in their pocket, if something's going to pop off. You know what I'm saying? So.
And also, it's about who these kids are trying to, for lack of better terms, impress. Like when you stepped outside the house in your neighborhood, your community, or whatever, as a young, before phones, before you could look at the world from your phone, your world was your neighborhood. As soon as you stepped out the door. So when you stepped out the door, you saw, so and so got the dope Cadillac, or so and so always has fresh shoes, or Miss so and so always does this. These are the people you looked up to, so these are the people you want to impress. So when they speak to you, you're going to listen because they impress you. So you want to learn to do things of that nature. But this generation, what I listen to you for, bruh?
Right.
I'm impressed by so-and-so in Memphis
Yeah.
and so-and-so in California. They doing it. You not doing nothing, bruh.
They say you
Yeah.
going to work.
Yeah,
you
going to
working
work,
9 to
what
5.
doing?
You
Exactly.
ain't.
Exactly.
And nowadays, they gotta see you with something.
Exactly.
Material.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's material.
Exactly. If you ain't rocking, designer, blah blah blah, what you really doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
ain't
all
got it.
that stuff on social media is a facade.
They don't know that.
They're not there
we
yet.
that ladies generation. We the last of that generation. These
Yeah,
90s and
that's
2000s
it.
baby,
That's
they're born
it.
with a phone in their hand.
We
They
got lucky.
learn how to work a phone by 5. So all they know is the entire world, not just their block.
You got kids that believe that local rappers are rich.
Yep.
Like the rappers that they see in their community, they think they rich. It's like, yo, if they was rich, they would still be right here.
Right.
But you can't tell them that. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a lot about that.
I gave a young kid in my barbershop a scenario. I laid $20 down and a credit card down. I said, which one you want to choose?
Mm.
What do you think he
Dub.
chose?
You chose the dub.
He chose the dub.
Yeah, he chose the $20.
Real story.
'Cause
Hey,
cash-
I'm just
Cash.
They
It's
don't
right
talk
now.
about that.
It's
I
right
mean,
now.
that's in school too. Because
Yeah.
the curriculum is different than it used to be. Yeah, they don't teach you how to write in cursive. They don't teach you how to write out a check. They don't teach you how to do checks and balances and work on credit. They don't, unless you're going to a specialty.
How to read a clock.
Sex education.
Yes, they don't even teach those things. Those are not important anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts.
So I mean, if they ain't getting it at home or half the time at home, and they ain't getting it in school, and they spend their second part of their life in school, where the hell they gonna get it?
Yeah, very true.
And everything's closed. So who they got? Whose grandmama they got to teach them when they go to the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes.
I mean, it's it. They live off of social media. Period.
So I tell people sometimes you can either make social media diary or your portfolio. And a lot of the times people choose to make it their diary. I'm not saying you can't spew your feelings. You can do whatever you want. It's a free app. But half the time, if you make it your portfolio, that's what social media is really used for. It's supposed to be used for. To build your brand, business, promote whatever it is you're doing.
Document your work. It goes back to you can document your work.
Exactly.
You might say 10 years from now what you didn't do, but Facebook memory will come back around every day and let you know what you did last year.
Right.
Hopefully your post is something positive.
Correct.
Yeah.
Some of these little kids are saying, I'm going to beat up little John last week up at the park.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this at the school. That's
A
what that
lot of
last
it's
post
not.
was.
Yeah. A lot of it's not positive.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. But I mean, what do you do with that? What do you do with that?
Yeah, it is
Cut
crazy.
the internet.
Okay, so we are going to go to another commercial break, and we will be back with His and Hers.
If you or someone you know would like to be a panelist on His and Hers, email us at production@plugnetworkonline.com. Subject line, His and Hers. No telling what's gonna happen. It's His and Hers. Let's jump in.
Okay, we're back with His and Hers. And Terry, I think you have the next question.
Dun, dun, dun. Look at
Do you think ratchet behavior like drinking, twerking, and drug use impacts children who witness it?
Keep it up, G. What you think?
Absolutely. I think it has a very hazardous impact on it. Because, like, you know, kids impressionable, they pay attention and they soak up game. Even the things that you think they're not paying attention to, that's really what they're paying attention to the most. And they don't know how to like rationalize things. Like they see their mother shaking that kind of cuss.
Yeah, he cuss like that.
They see their mother shaking their ass or father drinking and smoking around. They think that's cool. You feel me? Like they don't look at it like, oh, this is something that's just going on for the moment, or you know, it might be a certain type of environment. You might be at a cookout or something. They don't, because their brains is not fully developed, so they don't make that connection. So I think it has this impact, man. I think we gotta watch what we do around our kids. Absolutely.
I know. Last week we saw this video. What was that? Keeping it G. What was the name of that video?
FNA. Fuck.
Have y'all seen that video?
What is it?
Fuck nigga free.
Oh my gosh! Like, have y'all seen it?
Well, I know I haven't seen a video in forever.
There's a pregnant woman in there with her kids. drinking,
smoking,
smoking.
weed, twerking on top of cars.
And it got 10 million views.
Yeah,
Yeah, she made a lot of money out that shit.
yeah. And it's
Yes.
basically saying the theme of it is basically fuck these niggas,
Get money.
get money, live your life, sis.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was her real. It wasn't like a
Parody or nothing?
Yeah.
No,
that
it's
was a
real.
Oh, that
That
was
was
her
real.
really like that was the
This
thing
real.
to do.
Pregnant with
Oh,
with
okay.
a bottle of wine.
They living like
With the
that.
kids. Oh.
And the kids that we saying, you saying go to the parties, they're not playing their music, they bored.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the music that these kids are listening
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's very
to. If they
true.
don't play that song in the club this weekend for these teenagers, they're gonna be like, I ain't having a good time.
Yeah.
It's
That's
Yeah.
What's the
very
name of
true.
the song? I
F and F. Only reason I know is because every rapper I know is trying to take that beat, which ain't nothing but
Yeah.
an 036 Mafia beat anyway.
They took the beat too.
Yeah, they took the 36 Mafia beat.
Of course.
They got it
took
clear though, I
over.
hope.
Yeah.
But
Did they get it clear? I didn't
Did
know
they get it clear?
I mean,
Let's be on that
that's
business.
regular today.
Hmm?
I mean, that's like regular shit today.
But I can't say it just today. I can't say it just today because I mean, all y'all know who Uncle Luke is. He
Yeah,
ain't doing
but
shit too much different. Only
but
thing
Uncle
is the
Luke,
internet.
that's the
internet.
only
He didn't have no
biggest
kids.
thing.
He didn't have no kids in there.
I mean, it was
with no
cold.
pregnant women.
He didn't, but these are females making this.
And more than likely, by the time Luke came on, your ass is in bed because that shit didn't come on until BET after
After
what
hours.
was it?
It was.
When your ass better be asleep,
Uncut.
and you ain't even got no
Uncut.
TV in your room.
Yeah. Or they
It's
told,
cut
or they
off.
told you they took a
It's
remote.
the internet.
They
They got too much
That's it.
access.
It's the
Too much
access today.
access.
Because that shit was right. You had Snake,
Yeah, that's true.
maybe
Yeah.
Nokia. You had Snake on your phone. That's it.
Yeah.
You ain't have no. You weren't even watching TV when it's time to go to bed. Turn that shit off.
That's right.
So from the looks of
Yeah,
it,
they
looks
cut
like
the TV
internet
off.
is
So
the
Luke was
one.
a secret. If you ask well, I know we know about it, but a little bit younger than us,
They don't know who Luke is.
they don't know who the hell
Luke
Luke
is.
I was
is.
gonna say,
Never-
I'm the oldest
never
one at this
heard of
table. What's a snake?
The snake, like you
Nokia?
know, on your phone?
Just
Remember on your Nokia phone
Am
how
I
you had that
old?
game, the snake?
no.
It's like the
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
only game you had on the Nokia
He
phone.
said, nah, none of that
He
shit.
don't
That's
know.
it. That's
That's
it.
it.
I'm not
about
hip
it.
to that. I'm not hip. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's
But
funny.
even I ain't gonna front though. Even what I do know to play devil's advocate is that I can say personally, I grew up kind of fast. I hung with my older brother. My older brother was 7 years older than me, and I hung with all his homies. So at 12, they was all 18, 19. So I picked on a lot of shit fast.
Mhm.
But I will tell you, it was kids that I did know that I did grow up that was my age that had never been exposed to that. So when they finally had their first little taste of freedom, they went buck wild.
Yeah.
And so when they went, by the time they went buck wild, I was looking at them like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, bro, that's a good point you made because I think that's important.
Yeah, because
To,
I'm looking like, "What are you doing?" But I had been exposed to this early, so I had figured out like, "Yo, I'm cool with that. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. I'm cool with this."
Yeah.
And I knew not to, I feel like you got to be exposed to it, but I feel like certain people indulge more than others based on. Put it to you like this: if you ready to go to sleep as a kid and I put a brownie on your nightstand after you brush your teeth, first couple times you're gonna be like, smack this brownie. You know what I'm saying? But after you get a cavity, whatever cavity, a scenario is a cavity. After you get a cavity, you gonna keep eating that brownie? No.
Or you've already got your fix. You don't
Exactly,
even want the brownie no more.
Exactly.
You've
You don't
already
want
had
your
the brownie.
Exactly. So it's about what you're exposed to and what you're willing to tolerate. And a lot of times these kids, it's good for them to be exposed to it to a certain amount because you don't want them to be an idiot out here when it comes to the real world. Because if they get out in the real world and be an idiot, then they're gonna be boo-boo the fool and fall for anything.
Like I believe in teaching my kids gun safety. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Just to eradicate the wow factor. So if they ever run across it, they're not gonna be oh, let me touch it, let me see it, because it's like I see that my fault. You know what I mean?
Right now.
And that goes into what you were saying. That's why I said that's
a good point.
Very true. This is what you expose yourself to. With my children, I don't put too much in their face, but I put enough to let them know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know what
we
I'm
have a
saying?
lot of teachable moments like with our kids. We're raising all black men, young black men. And today's time is just so different
Mm-hmm.
than how it used to be. And racism is meeting you at your front door.
It sure
You know,
is.
the bullying is at your front door. The shootings are at your school and your church and the mall and the movies. And it's just like once you leave my hand, I'm gonna need for you to know enough to protect yourself
Mm-hmm.
once you leave this front door. Because once you leave, don't nobody give a fuck about you once you leave my doorstep. So I need for you to know enough for me to feel safe and for you to feel comfortable wherever you go, that you know how to handle yourself, carry yourself, you have mannerisms, you know who not to trust. You can read shit from a mile away. I need for you to have enough sense to know those things. So you have to expose them to a certain amount
Mm-hmm.
in order to get that. But blatant disrespect, the drugs and the drinking and we ain't doing that. Turn that shit off.
Hmm.
And then if you do it in front of me, I'm gonna pop your ass.
Fuck yeah.
Don't let me catch you doing that shit in front of me. You shouldn't play it no way, but you better not disrespect me to where you feel like it's okay for you to do that shit in front of me. Watch yourself.
Shit. To this day, I still don't cuss around my mouth.
Man,
You gonna cuss around your mother?
I don't cuss around none of my elders.
I ain't gonna front. Me and my mama done built that relationship.
Well, see,
where
and
she's
I was
like,
scared.
"Ah."
Adrian had me scared. I just started saying like shit and damn, like maybe last year,
Yeah.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I'd be like,
Yeah.
like when I said, I'd be like, you know, like
I don't cuss at my mama.
No,
But
yeah,
I would cuss
yeah.
with her. I'll tell you, I would cuss with her. And
We'll cuss somebody out together.
Yeah. That's facts.
We'll cuss somebody out together,
Yeah,
mama. Because if
facts.
somebody messing with you, they messing with us. So we go. But yeah,
Definitely facts right there.
it's different.
But
It's
as
just
far
it's
as
real
the
different.
twerking and, I mean, even the kid, like, drug use back in my teenage years was you smoking some weed or you drank some liquor. Drug use these days
It's
is
everything.
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 10 blunt, I got loud,
What
I got
pills?
mid,
What
I
pill
got
are you taking
pills,
today?
I got X, I got Molly, I
It's
got
everything.
Everything.
lean,
Yes.
got whatever
Everything.
Mhm.
And they are not scared.
at all.
They sure are not.
Fearless.
Adderalls.
They
I'm
don't
saying
get
Adderalls.
it's whatever. I was hearing about some shit that they was doing when Tyson was in middle school, and I was like, you
Smoking
do a
dirties.
what?
I remember smoking dirties.
Elementary
Smoking
school
this was
now.
he was telling me
Middle
about
school.
this in 6th grade, and I was like, smoking dirties. What the
Shoot,
hell?
elementary too. Don't forget the
Elementary.
elementary kids. Yes.
Smoking
Yes.
Yes,
talking about-
it's
They
different.
was smoking dirties at 50, 60, 70.
When
I was
I
growing
remember,
up.
in high school,
I
it was like
remember.
if you smoke weed, you was horrible.
Yeah, I was a lame.
They used to look at you like, you do what? You
Yes.
smoke?
You stupid, bro.
Like, yeah, these call you stupid
You always
in
high,
high
you
school.
Stupid. You stupid, bro.
Now it's a norm.
Now it's like, oh, you don't smoke
No, you
weed?
don't smoke,
Oh,
you a
you
lame.
stupid.
Yep,
you
lame.
you
Yeah.
lame for not smoking.
Yeah, exactly.
You got none, I can know, right?
Yeah, it's like if you don't
It's
smoke now,
crazy.
you a lame.
You are lame. Or if you don't try what everybody else is trying,
Yeah,
you're lame.
yeah.
Whatever lame means these days, that's I
And
be.
these are the kids that grew up in good households that
Yep.
leave the house, as
Yep.
you said,
Mm-hmm.
want to make wrong decisions.
Yep.
To be
We as
cool.
parents know we did not properly raise y'all like this.
Right.
When you go out and you got to tell kids of who you hang with, you got to associate who you hang with.
I think that a lot of that too will have a difference later on.
Mhm.
I think that right now these kids are and more so than not, but these kids are definitely in that experimental phase because they can. But I think that those who were taught better will do better later. I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
That's a fact.
I'm hoping, because I had my wow moment. Even though Adrian taught me, you bet not, you should, don't, you can't, don't try it, go there, do. And I still was like, for a little, I had my little moment.
Mhm.
And then I got right back on track
Mhm.
and was like, my ass know better than that. I ain't doing that.
I know my ass.
I just hope that they
I
come back
tried
around.
anyway.
So I think it's
I
time for us to wrap up. So everybody has to go around and tell what's going on in their lives, where people can reach them on social media. So Keeper G, how can they reach you?
Yeah, I'm Keeper G Blogger. I'm a blogger / podcaster. You can find me. Everything is Keeper G Blogger. Instagram, YouTube. You can find me at Keeper G Blogger or Keeper G Podcast. I got an episode I'm ready to do now. We're gonna talk about child support. That shit gonna be crazy.
Oh Lord.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that might be intense. You feel me?
That shit.
And that's just really what it is, man. I'm making real look cool again, man. You know what I mean?
That's good shit. That's good shit.
Okay, what about you?
Theus the God, TheusDagod on Instagram. Twitter's the same. I don't use that for real. Facebook, YouTube. Basically, reach out to me through those platforms. I got my hands in a couple of things from music to martial arts to just being a family man. That's it.
What about you, Terry?
How y'all doing? I'm Terry Blue-Rific on social media platforms. Check that out. I'm your barber's favorite barber. If you're ever in the Ville, come holler at me and give you the power of a haircut. And
Yeah.
also remember one thing: be calm.
What about you? What about you, Tasha?
I don't have too much or any social media
She
actually.
don't do that.
I'm pretty private. You can reach me through that guy. That's how you reach me, through that guy. Yeah,
She stays to herself.
I stay to myself.
Do all that.
I love this, but I stay to myself.
Okay. And my name is Latasha. I am the owner of the Plug Network online, and we appreciate you watching His and Hers. And make sure you tune in next week.
If you or someone you know would like to be a panelist on His and Hers, email us at production@plugnetworkonline.com. Subject line, His and Hers. No telling what's gonna happen. It's His and Hers. Let's jump in.